I love world building. It's one of my favorite things in other people's work. It's why I love Harry Potter. It's why I love the Adventure Zone. It's why I love Critical Role. It's something that I really heavily value in my own work as well. I'm currently working on a collection of stories that take place in the real world with some supernatural twists. That makes it sound like I'm like writing a teen vampire novel. I'm not. I love magical realism. I love a familiar setting that feels like the world in which we live, but some of the rules are bent by the existence of some form of magic or some kind of supernatural force, and where what we know isn't always what it seems. My method for my own world building is usually laying a lot of groundwork and then answering my own questions as I come to them. Why does this thing occur? What happens if a person does this? How would people react if this was common knowledge? Is it common knowledge? If not, how is the secret kept? With each question, I'm prompted to come up with an answer that connects to other answers, fitting together like bricks and establishing a solid foundation for people to walk around on top of. With each answer, the world I'm writing becomes richer, more lifelike, and bigger. I begin to establish its truth. I really do pride myself on my imagination, and I always have. When everything else about myself looks like the absolute worst, the one thing that I can't actually bring myself to trash on is my creativity. Recently, my therapist posed a theory about my self-hatred. She suggested that maybe all of the terrible things that I believe about myself, about what I do and don't deserve, that I'm incredibly inferior to everyone around me, that I will inevitably fail at everything I do because I'm just not built for success. Maybe that's me doing what I do best. I constantly think things about myself that aren't necessarily true, and it's not just a think. It feels so much stronger than just thinking. It feels like there are two parts of my brain, a good part and a bad part, and they're constantly warring with each other, trying to be the one on top. Right now, recently, the bad brain has the upper hand and the good brain is not strong enough to even try to fight back. So the bad brain has free reign to tell me whatever it wants. It says everyone around you is doing so much better than you. That's the way it's always been. You made friends with smart, successful people, and in order to keep them around, you made yourself look like one of them from the outside, but inside, you're still just that piece of trash not worth anybody's time. And then, when my rational brain sees the flaws in the logic, or the absence thereof, that there's no basis for those facts, I scramble to create reasons why it's true. And it's not hard. I have answers for every "why do you think that about yourself" question. And they're almost foolproof. It feels like a flawless system in my head. And since I have it all straightened out, when people try to say otherwise, I can comfortably say they're just telling you what they think you want to hear. They don't feel like they can be honest and tell you how it really is, but you know how it really is. If it doesn't make sense, I make it make sense. The same way I would in a story. I build my own reality in my head to keep myself underwater. I build logic and develop ideas into things that sound like truths. That's exactly what you do when you write fiction. You make it sound so real to you that you believe it yourself. Why do I do this? Why do I want to believe these terrible things about myself so deeply? I'm not totally sure about that yet. That's what I'm still trying to figure out. But it was just kind of mind-bending to realize what I'm doing now to figure out how to stop, I guess.